More and more pundits are coming out and admitting the Democratic Party is imploding. That's right. In this video, we're going to take a look at the latest trend in the mainstream media to acknowledge what we've known for quite some time on this channel, that the Democratic coalition is collapsing. You're going to see what's really behind that collapse, and stick with me to the very end of this video when I'll reveal why this collapse may mean the end of the Democrats for at least the next decade. You are not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you. As always, I'm your daily fake news antidote, as each and every day I provide patriotic analysis to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button before we begin, gang. It's here. Christmas is upon us. And you've got one last amazing opportunity to get these incredible Patriot t-shirts for the Patriots in your life. These are the best designs in the world, like our latest Let's Go Brandon t-shirts, or everything woke turns to you know what. Your family and friends are going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click on that link below. Get your Patriot merch today. You only got a couple of days left to get one of these designs that are the perfect Christmas gift for the Patriots in your life. So don't wait. Click on that link in the description below to both support this channel and help spread Patriot hope. And let's make this the most patriotic and wonderful Christmas ever. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. Now, if you've been following this channel for some time now, and if not, make sure you subscribe, you'll know that we've been talking a lot about the unraveling of the Democratic Party, that the Democrats are on track to becoming nothing less than a permanent minority party, that they're in point of fact imploding, right? Biden's plunging poll numbers are actually more an indicator than a driver, right? Biden is so much bringing the Democratic Party down. I mean, he most certainly is contributing to its decline, but instead, rather, his implosion is revealing a larger implosion of a Democratic coalition forged under Obama, but now unraveling as a result of the rise of the renewed patriot populism that's sweeping the nation and indeed much of the world. And at the heart of this populist rise is a profound animus, a growing distrust of the electorate of the permanent political class, regardless of their party. Populism's key characteristic is a new political divide, right? The political divide is no longer between conservative versus liberal. It's no longer between right versus left, or even a partisan divide between Republicans versus Democrats per se. The new divide is the people versus the political class, the ruled versus the rulers, the ordinary citizen versus the oligarchy. And that political divide is reshaping politics like we've never seen, and it's taking the Democratic Party completely by surprise, and they're imploding as a result. Now, that's been our operating thesis for the last several months, and I am so glad to see that a number of pundits are catching up to us here, and they're beginning to come to the same conclusion. You may have seen this from Tucker Carlson the other night. Carlson's monologue on Fox was a full-blown recognition that the Democratic Party is indeed in the process of collapsing. And the key here to this collapse is that the Democrats are losing the key demographic that they hope to build their new Obama-based coalition on, and that's the Latino voting base. Now, if you don't know, what's basically happening right now is that Latinos are abandoning the Democrat Party in droves as we speak. The latest Morris poll shows only 33% of Latinos support Biden. That's down from 59% in July. 67% of Latinos no longer support Biden. And the news gets even worse. Only 29% of independents support Biden. 70% of independents want nothing to do with Sleepy Joe. Now, gang, you don't have to be a genius here, right? If you thought you could actually build your political coalition, not just by winning a majority of the Latino vote, but by winning a super majority, upwards of 70 or 80% of the Latino vote. And the reality is that barely 30% of Latinos support you, you're politically dead. And with 70% of independents wanting nothing to do with you, you're officially dead and now buried, right? And as far as Tucker Carlson's concerned, this political implosion explains why the Democrats are so insistent on ruining your Christmas. The Democrats' hatred of you and of Christmas celebrations is nothing more than the muscle spasms of a dying political party. How do you like that imagery, right? The Democratic Party of today sounds more like a lady in an airport having a meltdown, screaming at you to put on your mask. No one likes that kind of person. And no one in their right mind would vote for a person like that. Well, Not most people, at least. Again, you have to be in your right mind. The polls all show that fewer and fewer voters have any intention of voting for Democrats, particularly in the upcoming midterms. And so that's one of the reasons why you're seeing so many Democrats retire. The number of prominent Democratic retirements is inching closer and closer now to 30, which is utterly devastating for any semblance of a chance of weathering the red wave that appears on the horizon for the upcoming midterms. Thus far, over 20 Democrats have announced that they're officially retiring as of this year, and they will not be seeking re-election. And keep in mind, gang, it's not even 2022 yet. By the time November rolls around, the number may indeed double. They're seeing the writing on the wall, and they're leaving. One of the reasons for why the Democrats are recognizing that things are so futile is because of the radically successful efforts by Republicans at redistricting across the nation. Far leftist sites like the New York Times, Salon.com, they all recognize this. Check this headline out. The GOP already has enough safe seats through redistricting alone to win back House in 2022. And the byline reads, Speaker McCarthy or Speaker Trump, Republicans have already a majority locked down, and they're not done yet. Now, this is drawing from the recent analysis by the New York Times. And according to the Times, while only 12 states have thus far completed the process of redrawing their congressional district maps based on the 2020 census, the Republicans have already reconfigured enough districts to add 5 new safe seats, which is enough for them to take over the House. Of course, assuming nothing else changes. Now, if you didn't know, Republicans have been busy redistricting the nation's congressional districts in such a way that the Democrats simply can't compete with it. We have to remember that not only did the GOP do very well in House races in 2020, they dominated the state legislatures in such a way that they may actually be poised to dominate the House for the next decade until the next census. And this is because the GOP is now in complete control of state houses and governorships that will end up redrawing maps for nearly 200 congressional districts. That's nearly 50% of all districts getting redrawn totally in the GOP's favor. By contrast, the Democrats control state legislatures and governorships that will redraw the map for less than 20% of the nation's districts. And so by controlling so many districts, we're going to start seeing at least half the nation not just go red, but go deep red. And the midterms would be the first test to see just how deeply red these new redrawn Republican districts all across the country really are. And so it's no coincidence that you're seeing all these Democrats retire. The rats are jumping ship, the demo rats, that is, and more of the mainstream media is recognizing it. Look at this from the New York Times. The Democrats are in peril. Can they talk themselves out of it? Or this one from Real Clear Politics. I love this one. If the polls are right, the Democrats are doomed. If they're wrong, it's worse. How would you like that news? I've got really bad news, and I've got really, really bad news. And so, by all means, gang, enjoy the holidays. The fact that the Democrats look like they're going to be crushed in mere months from now in the midterms, as well as the growing demographic impossibility that any Democrat could be elected to presidency anytime soon, that should make for some wonderful holiday cheer. Merry Christmas. Now, before we go, you will definitely want to check out my video compilation on the woke liberals who swallow the Jussie Smollett hate hoax without question. It's the most glorious compilation of self-owns imaginable. You're going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.